Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and yes, I mentioned in yesterday's video that I really wanted to film this story time today, and I was thinking about it. I was like, should I tell this story? And then I thought like, yeah, why not? It's not really like one drawn out story, it's more like a few mini story times in one video, you know what I mean? You guys are used to this whole thing by now. Also, do you like my sweatshirt? I don't even remember what it says, to be honest. Can I read upside down? Perhaps supporter of messy hair and sweatshirts. Because as you can see, I got the messy hair down and now the sweatshirt's all. I actually found this under my bed the other day, so totally forgot I had it. Not too sure how long it was under there, but I have it now and it's comfy and I'm glad I found it. This is why my intros are so long, guys, because I yabber on about the most meaningless things. Anyways though, the next thing I'm going to be announcing is not meaningless because it is the winner of the backdrop before this backdrop. Actually, it was two backdrops for one winner, and her name is, and I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing this right, it's either Kiara or Kira. I'm not too sure which one it is. If it's Kiara, that reminds me of Lion King, which is pretty cool. But I'll put her username right here. Girl, you have won two backdrops, which is a really rare thing for me to do, so congratulations. The code was never steal haunted dolls, and I saw a lot of people putting haunted dolls never steal, which I guess could have worked as well, but that wasn't the answer. That was not the one that I was seeking. Thanks to everyone who sent that in, and now because that contest is done, now we're gonna see if you guys want to enter for this one right behind me, this really crazy floral orange one. If you want to enter this backdrop right now, there are going to be 5 code words in the 5 previous videos to this one. So 5 code words, the 5 videos before I posted this one. All the words are going to be down at the bottom of the descriptions. Once you have all the code words written out, make it into a sentence, come back to this video and comment it down below, and then you will be entered, and I will be announcing the winner sometime in July, probably towards the end of the month. Oh, also, you gotta be subscribed to this channel, which is kind of like an obvious thing. But yeah, go, 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 go! Or just like wait till this video's over and then go, 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 go. Okay, so in yesterday's video, I mentioned that since moving here, I've had a lot of just really strange people coming to my front porch and either like ringing my doorbell or talking to me, or just really strange things happen on my porch. And it's actually really great that I have a security camera at the front of my house because, for one, when I first moved in here, I was living all by myself, and it's just like a safety thing that when someone knocks on my door or rings my doorbell, I can first check my camera to see who it is. If I don't recognize them, then I just didn't open the door. And now that Ty is living with me, I feel a lot safer, but we still keep those cameras outside my house just in case something happens. For example, the doll's getting stolen. I don't know why. I still don't know why that happened. But anyways, I have a few things that I wrote down on my phone that have happened since I have moved in here that have to do with just people randomly showing up. So the very first month that I moved in here, so last June, oh my gosh, I've been living in this new house for over a year now. Isn't that insane, guys? I feel like I just moved in here. Like, how time goes so fast. Anyways though, the first month that I moved in here, I was all by myself. Ty was living with his parents and they lived about 25 minutes away, so he was close but not like super close. So I was living here alone, and the second week that I was here, my doorbell rang at 9 p.m. Now, I found that that was a really random time for someone to be ringing my doorbell because no one really sells things after probably 7 p.m. Generally, people just don't bother you after dinner and onward because sometimes people go to bed early, they might have kids they're putting to bed. Like, ringing a doorbell past 8 p.m., let's say, is a very weird occurrence, or at least I think so in my opinion. Like, I remember back when I lived with my parents, there was this one night, probably 3 years ago, where a guy rang our doorbell at 12:30 in the morning, 12:30 a.m., and my dad went down and answered it, and it was like one of Mandy's guy friends, and he was just standing there like, hey, just wanted to see if Mandy wanted to come out and hang. And it was a school night, 12:30 a.m. My dad looks at him and then just like shuts the door in his face like, dude, what are you doing? And it wasn't even a guy that Mandy knew that well. Like, when my dad told her the next day, she was like, I barely even know him. I've maybe hung out with him like 3 times at school. So it was just really sketchy, but it just shows you like people don't do it. Anyways, let's get back to my story. I'm a bit sidetracked. So 9 p.m. my doorbell rings and I check my security camera and it's this guy Ty standing there in a, what are those things called? Like the bright orange vest with the yellow crosses on it. It's like a crossing guard, like construction vest or something like that. And he was just standing in front of my door waiting for me to open it. And of course I didn't, because that's just really random. And then every single night at 9 p.m. since then, he would show up just right at 9 p.m. and ring my doorbell. So about 7 days of this went by, and whenever he'd come to my door, I'd like call Ty and I'd be like, he's here again. I don't know what he wants. So after the 7th day, Ty started to get really freaked out, and he said, next time he comes to your door, just call the police because it's just too random. And Ty was worried that this guy was ringing my doorbell at 9 p.m. each night to see if anyone was home at that hour, because sometimes when people want to rob your house, they test to see what time the homeowners are home, and then when they know no one's answering the door, they assume the person's not home, and then they take that opportunity to like rob the house. So Ty was worried that this guy was testing to see if someone would come to the door, and because I wasn't, he thought maybe this guy would show up the next time and break in. And it's just weird because after that 7th day, suddenly he just stopped, and I never saw him again. I never had to call the police, but it was like this 9 p.m. on the dot, this guy was coming to the doors. And I even asked my neighbors around me, like, was he ringing your doorbell? And they were like, no. So it was only mine. It was just really weird. So that was the first weird thing that happened. And then let's move on to Halloween. I can't remember if I told you guys this story, and I don't mean for it to come off like rude or anything like that, but on Halloween, usually I'll answer the door when kids come to the door and I'll hand out candy. And I'll usually get like dressed up in a costume and make it super fun and decorate my house and stuff like that. So the Halloween that just passed, it was the first Halloween that I was handing out candy at my new house in my new neighborhood. And maybe this was silly of me to assume, but I just thought that no one in my neighborhood or around me would know that I was a YouTuber, would know that I was Jessii Vee. I thought they'd just think that I was just a normal human handing out candy, which is like what I am anyways, but I didn't think that anyone would like just come to my house thinking that I was like Jessii Vee or something. So trick-or-treaters started coming around, I would say 6:30 p.m. and I was still getting my costume and makeup all together. So Ty answered the first few doorbell rings and was handing out candy. And by the time the 4th person rang the doorbell, I was literally just about to come down the stairs when I heard there was a bunch of kids at the door, and they were like, is this Jessii Vee's house? Like, please tell me this is her address. Like, is this where she lives? And as much as I love you guys, that sort of thing freaks me out when people want to confirm if it's my address, because I know I'm not like famous or like super popular or even that relevant to a lot of people, but I still want my privacy and I want my home to be somewhere that is not announced to the world, you know what I mean? Because yes, like kids don't do any harm, but if my address ever gets out to someone who is potentially creepy, I feel bad saying creepy, but if someone has bad intentions for me or there's someone who wants to like kidnap me or something, I just never want my address being given out or known anywhere. So in that moment, Ty just was sort of flabbergasted and he was like, no, this is not her address, because I think he also thought about that as well. So I decided that night not to give out candy because I didn't want anyone to know it was my house, and literally almost every kid that came to the door, they were like, is this Jessii Vee's house? I was told this is where she lives, and Ty kept having to say no. And now that I'm saying this, people probably know it was my house. But I don't know, I just get so much anxiety over that. Like, I love meeting you guys so much, but not like at my house, you know? I know so many YouTubers have made story times and rants about this, where your house is your private place. It's where you're supposed to feel safe, and then anywhere outside of your house, you know, you're so happy to meet fans and everything else. I hate calling them fans. You guys are my family. So Halloween was just crazy because it was just mobs at the door asking for Jessii Vee, and I was like, I love you, but at the same time, I don't want my address out. So that was the second big event that happened here. And then there was this one time, it actually wasn't too long ago, just a couple months ago, where a moving van was parked right outside of my driveway. Like, it was literally blocking my driveway. And I work from home and my car is always in the garage, so a lot of the time it doesn't look like anyone is home. So when I saw the moving truck at the bottom of my driveway, I was sort of weirded out, like, why are they blocking my driveway? And there were just these two guys sitting in the moving van, just like looking at my house, looking up at the windows, looking around my house, and I got really really sketched out because actually someone that Ty knows, their house was robbed, and it was because a moving van parked at their house when they were at work, and then they started just like, they broke in the house and started moving all the furniture and everything they wanted to steal. They started moving it into the van, and they were dressed as movers. So everyone else in the neighborhood who saw this thought it was normal because they had a moving van, they were dressed in uniforms. It looked like they were supposed to be doing that, but that's how they planned it. They planned it that way so no one would be concerned, which is like so creepy that they actually thought this all out. So when I saw this moving van with two guys in it at the bottom of my driveway, I started freaking out, and I called Ty and I was like, what should I do? They're just staring at the house. They've been there for hours just watching. Like, they're not doing anything else but sitting in this van. And Ty freaked out, and he came home from work and he sorted it all out, and they left eventually, but he was also freaked out just like I was. And I don't know, maybe we're just really paranoid people and we shouldn't be. But I think, I mean, and you guys know, I've had so many bad things happen to me in my life that the smallest little things just like, I get so much anxiety over it. And then I'm just gonna talk about one last thing that actually happened a few days ago, and it's been happening the last 3 days. And it's probably nothing, but it's just really weird. And I actually have a couple pictures of it because I can access my front porch camera from my phone. So whenever anyone is sort of lingering on my porch, I just screenshot it just in case something happens later and I have to report it or whatever. So if any creepers watching, I have cameras around my house, so be careful. So these two men have been coming to my house at 7 a.m. for the past 3 days. And it's not like just a normal, like they might be selling something or whatever. When I look at them on the camera, now I can't hear any noise from the camera, I can just watch what they're doing. And they're literally standing on my porch with their hands out to my door, and they're doing like this motion towards my door. It literally looks like they're casting spells on my house or like cleansing my house or blessing my house. I don't know what they're doing, but I literally have one of the screenshots of him doing it. And it's just, it's so strange. So at 7 a.m. I'll just be looking at this camera thinking, how long are they gonna be here? What do they want? What are they doing to my house? And they'll just stand there for about 5 minutes. They ring the doorbell like 3 times, and then they just like stand there and talk and like do this to my door and talk to each other. And I sent the screenshots to my dad, and he was like, oh, they might just be like from a church or like Jehovah's Witnesses or something like that, which like that's fine, but you're also, they're strangers to me, so I'm still not gonna open the door, you know? But the whole like motion towards the door like this has just, it's just weirding me out. And this is the 3rd day. Literally even this morning they were here at 7 a.m. doing that. So I'm gonna see if they show up tomorrow. If they do, I might start doing something about it, but it's just weird how some people don't really take a hint. Like they come every single day and you're still not opening the door and they still come back, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. But those are just a few of the many things that have been happening. Like there's so many stories I can tell you guys about my front porch alone. But yeah, there you go, guys. Those are my stories, and don't worry about me. I have a great security system. All is good. I'm not worried. I just wanted to talk about the weird coincidences and things that have happened. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!